Jealousy. It's a feeling most people try to hide. A spark that can ignite quietly, almost imperceptibly. But when it does, it reveals truths that words alone cannot. And for Dylan Wang, that spark was caught on camera. A single moment, fleeting yet unforgettable. It happened during a routine fan event. Nothing out of the ordinary. Lights, cameras, smiles, autographs, fans screaming their excitement. Shen Yue, radiant as always, moved gracefully through the crowd. But Dylan Wang, something shifted in him. The cameras, which were supposed to capture happy moments, captured something else entirely. A slight furrow in his brow, a hesitation in his step, a glance that lingered longer than necessary. Fans didn't notice at first, but when the clips started circulating online, millions of eyes zoomed in. Paused frames, slow motion. Every micro-expression analyzed, dissected, debated. And then the whispers began. Did you see the way Dylan looked at her? He's jealous. That wasn't acting. The comments section became a frenzy. GIFs made, memes created, all centered on that one single, tiny moment of human emotion. But what caused it? Because Shen Yue had done nothing wrong. She was laughing with a co-star, gently patting their shoulder, sharing a joke on stage. And in that instant, something inside Dylan Wang stirred. It wasn't anger. It wasn't possessiveness. It was love. Love, pure and unfiltered, surfacing in the only way it could. Jealousy isn't a sin, it's a sign of care. A reminder that someone matters more than the rest of the world. And Dylan Wang, despite his calm public persona, revealed that truth in the smallest of ways. A slight tightening of his jaw, a hand hovering near her, almost instinctively. Eyes fixed on her when they shouldn't have been. The world, hungry for drama, called it jealousy. Fans called it proof. But for those who understood, it was simply a man who loved too much to hide it. The internet exploded overnight. Clip after clip, frame after frame. Analyzing every glance, every micro-movement. Twitter threads, is he really jealous? Instagram posts. Dylan Wang's subtle jealousy captured. Fan forums. The chemistry between them is undeniable. It wasn't just speculation. It was a moment that reminded everyone of something ancient and simple. Love isn't always spoken. Sometimes it's seen. And yet, behind the screens, behind the hashtags and reposts, there was a quieter story. Because Shen Yue noticed too. She didn't call attention to it. She didn't tease him. She simply smiled at him later, her eyes acknowledging what had already been said. Without words. A mutual understanding. A recognition of something deep and personal. The next day, paparazzi photos surfaced from the same event. Shen Yue standing near a co-star. Dylan Wang in the background, watching intently. Nothing overt. Nothing inappropriate. Just presence. Attention. Care. Fans zoomed in. Replayed the footage. Analyzed the angles. And in every frame, they saw the same truth. He was watching her. Not with suspicion. Not with resentment. But with love. And that love was the kind that makes you protective. That makes you linger when you'd rather walk away. That makes your stomach tighten for reasons you can't quite explain. Some critics claimed it was overly dramatic. Others suggested it was media manipulation. But those who had followed Dylan Wang and Shen Yue's journey for years knew better. They had seen moments like this before. A lingering touch, a gaze that lasted too long. A subtle gesture that said more than any words could. This was just another layer in a story fans had been piecing together all along. What makes this moment extraordinary is not the jealousy itself. It's the way it was expressed. A glance, a micro-expression, a heartbeat's worth of attention. That's all it took for millions of fans to see the connection. The bond between Dylan Wang and Shen Yue was undeniable. Not manufactured. Not scripted. Real. Jealousy, when genuine, is rarely flattering. It's messy. Vulnerable. Exposes emotion in ways we often fear. And yet, in Dylan Wang's case, it was beautiful. Because it revealed a side of him no one could fabricate. It revealed the truth that everyone wanted to believe. He cared for Shen Yue deeply. More than the cameras, the headlines, the public expectations. Fans started noticing patterns in their past interactions. How he'd subtly shift closer when she laughed with someone else. How he'd brush a strand of hair from her face when no one was looking. How his hand seemed to find hers in passing, almost instinctively. Small moments. Tiny gestures. But collectively undeniable. And now, this clip added fuel to the fire. Within hours, discussion threads were filled with theories. Was this the moment he realized she's the one? Do you think Shen Yue noticed? This isn't just friendship anymore. And then came the reactions from fellow celebrities. A wink here, a knowing smile there. Even casual onlookers couldn't deny it. Something was happening between them. Something real. What makes this story so compelling is the contrast between public perception and private truth. To the world, Dylan Wang appeared calm, composed, untouchable. But in that split second, he betrayed the humanity that fans rarely saw. It was raw, honest, vulnerable. And vulnerability, when paired with love, creates moments that linger forever. Shen Yue, for her part, handled it gracefully. She didn't confront him. She didn't dramatize the moment. She simply acknowledged it subtly, allowing the fans, the cameras, and the world to witness the quiet truth between them. And that, perhaps, is the most romantic part. Because love doesn't always need grand gestures. Sometimes it whispers. Sometimes it glances. Sometimes it lingers silently in the air between two people. Days later, the clip resurfaced on social media. Fans compiled it with old interviews, press events, and behind-the-scenes moments. The montage painted a single picture. A love growing quietly, unashamedly. One small gesture at a time. It wasn't forced. It wasn't staged. It was natural. And in that naturalness, fans found hope, joy, inspiration. Journalists started to take note too. Is Dylan Wang in love? Could Shen Yue be the reason behind his recent smiles? Fans are convinced this is more than chemistry. And while tabloids speculated, the truth remained simple. He cared. He always had. And that moment of jealousy revealed it all. The beauty of this clip is that it didn't need commentary. It didn't need interviews. It didn't need explanations. It spoke for itself. A brief look, a slight furrow of the brow, an attentive gaze, and suddenly millions of hearts understood something profound. Love exists in the smallest moments, the ones no one else notices, the ones that cannot be replicated. In the weeks that followed, fans continued to analyze the event. Side-by-side photos, GIFs, slow-motion footage. Every frame reinforced the same undeniable truth. Dylan Wang's heart, his attention, his very being, was quietly devoted to Shen Yue. Even jealousy, a seemingly negative emotion, became a testament to the depth of his feelings. And perhaps that's the lesson here. Love isn't always bold or obvious. It doesn't always announce itself. Sometimes it reveals itself in subtle ways. A glance, a gesture, a moment of unspoken emotion. That one clip captured it perfectly. A fleeting second that proved more than any interview ever could. Dylan Wang cared for Shen Yue, deeply, fiercely, undeniably. Even now, years later, fans still talk about it. They replay it,